This is the Furls Odyssey crochet hook, and I wanted to do an updated video on the Furls Odyssey because I got a new hook today, and I also have been experimenting with some other hooks, and I just find myself reaching for my Odyssey. No matter what other hook I have, I always end up putting it down and grabbing my Odyssey hook. Unfortunately, Odyssey has been discontinued. The manufacturer, Runley Casting, is retiring. And as of August 28th, 2023, the Odyssey has been discontinued from the website. There is supposed to be a second restock later this year, a smaller Furls restock, and then there's going to be a release of imperfect Odysseys that might have scratches, blemishes, some type of imperfection. And there's a new hook coming out that Furls has designed that is machined, not handmade, that we should be expecting around either Christmas time or January was the last update I heard from them. And it has a stainless steel tip. It comes in 3 pieces, and the last time I checked the product development page for the new hook, it was still coming soon, so I don't have any further updates on the new hook, unfortunately. So right now we have limited Odyssey availability. You have options like you can wait for the Furls restock later this year and hope that you can get some hooks, or the imperfect release that Furls is doing later this year. Other than that, your options are pretty much eBay. You can check out their auctions or the buy it now section. I checked the current listings are running anywhere between $70 and $250 per hook. It's up to you whether to decide whether it is worth it for that hook or not. Comparable tools are far and few between. Etsy has a couple similar options, but they're just not quite the same as the Odyssey hook. The Odyssey hook, it just so much care has gone into handcrafting the Odyssey hook that, I mean, it's obvious when you start crocheting with one of these hooks how superior they are to any other hook that I have used. The original Odyssey, the hook itself is made of pewter, copper, and it's nickel plated. The handle is resin, and it comes in these custom colors of automotive paint. They're handcrafted in California, and each hook weighs between 1 to 3 ounces depending on the size that you get, and they're made to just glide through any type of yarn. They come in a variety of sizes and colors. There's 17 different colors and 15 different sizes. So if you wanted to collect all of the Odyssey hooks, you would have 255 hooks in your collection. We can take a look at the older hooks versus the newer design. There are 2 different tips that you can get with the Odyssey hook, and it really just depends on which hook you get. I have a great example of the differences right here because these 2 hooks are the same size, and one hook has a newer tip and one hook has the older original tip. So we're going to take a look at these 2 hooks right now, starting with this hook right here, which I bought on eBay. I just received it today and it was in perfect condition. I am so happy with my purchase. This hook has a wide throat and a narrow head, and the head itself is grooved. If I can get my camera to focus. Hello. The tip itself has a groove that really hugs your yarn and pulls it through, and the angle of this hook is outstanding. I really hope that they use the older hook itself when they designed the mold for the new hook. I think that they really got it with the original Odyssey hook. I really like the original Odyssey. I really don't have any complaints about it, other than I wish it were a little more durable. There, I finally got my camera to focus. There it goes out again. Hello. There, now you can see the groove in that hook and how pronounced that groove in the hook is. And now in comparison, if you wanted to look at the new hook, this is a newer style hook. It has a thin throat on it. And the hook itself is shaped far differently than the original Odyssey hook. At some point in the manufacturing process, the mold for the hook tip needed to be swapped out, and they changed to this newer mold, which dramatically changed the shape of the tip of the hook and the throat of the hook itself. And the handle hasn't changed, but the top of the hook has changed. And I find this hook bends easily when I use it, and it needed to be replaced. So I purchased the older style Odyssey hook instead. This is a 3.75 millimeter, which is mighty thin. It's actually the smallest Odyssey hook that you can get anymore. They discontinued all the sizes below 3.75 millimeter. So if you wanted to be able to tell the difference whether or not if you bought your hook on eBay and you don't know if you got one of the newer hooks or one of the older hooks, one of the indicators is the box that you get the hook in, if yours comes in a box. The original Odyssey hook box was black with silver writing on it, and the newer Odyssey box is gold. And that's another indicator of how you can tell the difference between the older style Odyssey hook and the newer style Odyssey hook. I would classify this hook as fragile. You don't want to drop it. It could crack, it could break, it could chip. The handle can actually break off on these hooks, and there's no threads. You can't thread it back in. You would have to get some epoxy and glue it very carefully if that happened to you. Hopefully your handle didn't break off in such a way that you can't fix it. The care instructions for this hook are that you shouldn't wear lotion when handling the hook to preserve the finish. And I wear hand lotion, just regular Aveeno hand lotion, when I work, and I have completely worn down the finish of the handle, not the handle, but the throat of this hook, because I rest my finger right here when I crochet. So the finish, this is what it looks like when the finish wears down on your Odyssey hook. And this one has been dropped. There's a chip in the bottom of the paint right there. And there's a crack in the back of the head of the hook. So I do need to replace my 5mm hook. You want to store it either in the original box or in a stand or tray. You want to keep it in a cool, dry place, of course. And you can clean it with a soft, lint-free cloth. I just use this cloth that came with a pair of sunglasses that I purchased years ago. And I just wipe it down to get all my fingerprints and everything off of it when I'm done using it. So I can take you on a walk through my Odyssey hooks because Odyssey hooks are all very different. They're like snowflakes. Each one is different than the next. So I already showed you these three. The next one is my 5.5 millimeter. This is a white Odyssey hook. And this is one of the older style Odyssey hooks. It has a wider throat on it. And the head, it doesn't have that groove that holds and hugs the yarn that you would want to have. But this hook actually crochets very smoothly. I love using it. I am using it in a current project that I have with Bernat Baby Velvet, and it's doing great. I have no complaints about this hook whatsoever. I purchased it on eBay, and it came in great condition. So just to give you an idea of how I acquired my hooks, I got this hook on eBay, this hook directly from the Furls website when they had one of their last restocks. This one came from eBay, this one came from eBay, this one came from the Furls website when they had one of their last restocks, and this one came from eBay. So this one came from Furls. It is a 6 millimeter in purple, and I really love this hook. I don't have any issues with it. It's a newer style hook. I need to correct myself. I said this was one of the older style hooks. This is actually one of the newer style hooks. I tricked myself. So correction on what I said earlier. I used to compare these two a lot because when I first got this one, I got these two on eBay, and when I first got this one, I thought it was a counterfeit because the tips are so different between the older style hook and the newer style hook. So this white one is the newer style hook. And it has, it does not have the wide throat on it. It has the skinnier throat on it. Just like the 6 millimeter, you can see the difference between the, see how much wider the 5 millimeter is than the 5.5 millimeter. This is a 7 millimeter. This is the older style. This came in a black box on eBay, and it has the wider throat on it and the more pronounced hook. You can see it better in the larger hook, how pronounced the groove is on that hook. Isn't that beautiful? I really love the original Odyssey hook. They did a great job on that. This is the color Emerald. What used to be my favorite one, but now I think my navy one might be my favorite one now that I have it in front of me. So those are my Odyssey hooks and some of the differences between the older style hooks and the newer style hooks, and some updates from the Furls website. I will leave you a link to the Furls website. You guys go over there and stay updated on the Furls Odyssey hook and the new hook that's coming out, which is really exciting. It's a machined hook, so they shouldn't have the same issues that they were having with Odyssey with availability. They should always be in stock. Since it's a machined hook, they should be able to make more of them at one time. So they shouldn't have the restocking issues that they were having with Odyssey. So something else to look forward to with the new hook. I can't wait to get it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye.